You know, those kids are going to be watching this being like, how does she poop? Let's see, Plunder Room? Why did I write down Plunder Room?
The Plunder Room. Oh, the Plunder Room. The Plunder Room.
Quick, let's cross swords! Hello and welcome to another episode of What's the Hold Up, the only husband and wife podcast to combine dick jokes and nostalgia on a regular basis. The premise is simple. We take a movie or show we remember from our childhood and gaze upon it with adult eyes and modern sensibilities to see if it holds up. Sometimes things are better than we remember, but oftentimes they're worse. Without further ado, I'm Zack.
And I'm Heather.
And tonight we're going to be revisiting She-Ra, Princess of Power. Take it away, Heather.
She-Ra, Princess of Power, ran from 1985 to 1987.
2 seasons. Nice.
According to IMDb, Princess Adora raises her magic sword and becomes She-Ra, the most powerful woman in the universe, to aid her friends in defeating the evil Horde, so their planet Etheria can be free. Gonna be honest.
Excellent.
Never watched it.
What? What's the tagline?
Oh, the tagline.
We're doing the tagline too, remember?
Oh, that's right. For the honor of Greyskull, She-Ra has the power.
That's right, because she can't say by the power of Greyskull, so they changed it.
What a fucking ripoff of He-Man.
It's not a ripoff. She's his sister.
I know, and it's a complete ripoff.
You know. Okay, so I'm
They're
sorry.
like,
So
let's
go
take
with
He-Man.
Yeah, right. Like, let's see, like
Etheria,
Batgirl, Batwoman, Supergirl,
I know, but it was like
Wonder Man.
Wonder
is a whole
Man?
different thing. Wonder Man is a Marvel Comics superhero who is technically a zombie. He's dead, but his body still functions, and he has all the powers of Superman, essentially.
Interesting.
Yes.
Zombie Superman.
Yes, Wonder Man is pretty much zombie Superman. Yes.
That's cool.
And he was actually an Avenger.
I've never heard of him.
He was part of the West Coast Avengers. Did you know there was a West Coast Avengers for a long time?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I didn't know that you knew that.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so,
back on track.
Anyways, a ripoff.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's not
just
so much
like,
a
I'm
ripoff
this,
as it is an extension of the brand.
No.
You know,
come on.
I applaud what they did, okay? They see He-Man, they see that he appeals to a more, we'll say, masculine demographic.
Yes.
Okay? And so, they're like, you know what? Little girls shouldn't be left out, okay? They need a strong female hero that they can look up to, and so we're going to create, you know, He-Man's opposite. Yeah, not even opposite, just female counterpart.
Something else, like something original.
But it's his twin sister!
But it didn't have to be. Didn't have to be his twin sister. His twin sister who lives on a
different planet.
On a completely different planet.
Because she was kidnapped as a baby.
Ah, okay.
By Hordak.
Hordak
is... Dude, okay. Alright, let's get into this. Alright, so you don't remember much about She-Ra, okay, right?
I don't.
Okay. So here's the deal.
I knew who she was related to.
She-Ra's big bad, okay?
Yeah.
Is not female Skeletor, as you might have suspected. She-Ra's big bad is actually the big bad. Hordak is actually Skeletor's boss. Okay? So the evil Horde has... Okay, so basically... And I actually had this confirmed because I cheated when I found out we were doing this, and I looked at the, like, the trivia thing on IMDb. So I had this confirmed, but I had already sort of thought this. So it's basically sort of like a Star Wars type thing, okay? So basically... Well, because you'll see when you watch the show, Hordak has Horde troopers that are essentially stormtroopers, just with his, like, bat symbol on them. Because Hordak has a evil bat symbol. So he's like the Emperor, and then he has the Horde troopers. See, you can see him right there in the picture.
I got it.
And She-Ra is basically leading a rebellion against Hordak and whatnot to try to free Etheria. So it's essentially like Star Wars. How could you not love that? Okay, alright, okay. I see I need to do a little bit more to sell you, okay?
Yeah.
Instead of riding on a green tiger, like He-Man, okay, she has a winged horse. So she rides a Pegasus named Glimmer?
I don't know.
I think.
You tell me.
Glisten, I don't know.
Glisten.
All I know is that, and I am not at all ashamed to say this, I had several She-Ra toys when I was a child.
Very nice.
Including, I think the horse's name was Glimmer, who was actually translucent plastic with glitter inside of it.
Interesting.
So when the light shone through it, sort of like those My Little Pony blind bag figures that you have. So that's what her horse was like. Yeah, She-Ra was awesome, because she's just as powerful as He-Man.
Yeah.
And she does, there are some more gender swap things, like she does have, like He-Man has Orko, his little bumbling sidekick there, the comic relief. She has like, I'm going to say Madam Mim, and then I think you're going to tell me that's the chick from The Sword and the Stone.
It sure is.
Okay. This woman is like that, though.
Okay.
She's a little witch lady, and she can transform into different stuff.
Yeah.
So, I forget what her name is, but, we're going to find out, obviously. So, do you remember anything about She-Ra at all?
No.
No?
I remember more about He-Man, but that's because I watched the newer incarnation not that long ago, and...
Oh, the 2002 series,
Yeah. I watched that.
I know Hordak, I think, was in that. I can't remember if they ever brought She-Ra in.
You know, I think Hordak was in that. But I don't recall She-Ra at all being a part of that.
Yeah, she also was not a part of the New Adventures of He-Man from 1991.
So... Where
He-Man had a ponytail and he crash landed on a new planet. Remember that show?
No.
Remember nothing.
No, I wasn't really big on, like, He-Man and stuff when I was younger. And this ran from 1985 to, what did I say, 1987?
So you would have been very small.
So I was really young.
Well, I just figured there could have been, like, reruns, too.
There were some, but I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really care.
Which I find odd, because you were a little bit tomboyish, right? So you were definitely into, you know, quote-unquote boy cartoons, as stupid as I find that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Designation.
But for some reason, I couldn't get into He-Man.
I get that.
She-Ra and whatnot.
Well, you know, honestly, even though you were born in 83, honestly, the He-Man thing really was not just started before you were born, but hit its stride when you would have been, like, 2.
Yeah.
Because I would say 85 was, like, the height of He-Man.
Right. Like, I was just too young.
That's why, not to go on off on a total tangent, but that part in Ghostbusters 2, where they're yelling, He-Man, He-Man, makes no sense. Never made any sense to me, because that movie came out in 1989.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go so far as to say the Mattel He-Man toy line was completely dead at that point. I'm sure they might have had a few, like, that they were dragging on, but He-Man was certainly not popular anymore. Not enough that children would... It should have been Ninja Turtles.
I think maybe the joke was that, like, even He-Man, who was not the height of popularity at that point, was more popular than the Ghostbusters.
That could be. I feel it's more like Dan Aykroyd...
Maybe that's, like, the deep...
Yeah, but I feel like more like Dan Aykroyd and Harold Manus.
Like,
Harold Manus? Harold Manus.
What's wrong with you?
Harold Manus. I mean, Harold Anus?
Oh my god.
Oh god, Harry
Anus.
Sorry. We both went there.
Yep.
What the fuck is dead guy's name?
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis. Uncle Remus. Yes, Uncle Remus. The catfish are huge. Sorry, Harold Ramis. I feel like Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd. I feel like...
I feel like Harry Anus.
I feel like Harry Anus and Dan Blackroyd were like... We're like, no, but I feel like they were like,
jokes,
what are the... I feel like they were like, what are the kids into nowadays? Oh, He-Man, right, okay, write that in the script.
Yeah, write that in there.
She-Ra. So...
That part of the movie still makes me, like, crack up, though.
Yeah. Who are you gonna call? He-Man!
He-Man!
I'll tell you something interesting. It actually isn't interesting at all. I just need to say something while I gathered my thoughts.
Okay.
No. Do you remember... I'm assuming... No, they couldn't do this anymore. I don't think anyone would fall for it. But when I was a child... do you remember Golden Books, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think they still sell them, right? Yeah. Okay. So they put out VHS tapes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what it was, though, it was their book. Okay. So static images. Like it was, and with voiceover.
Yeah.
So kids such as myself were tricked into thinking they were buying a cartoon. When in actuality, it was more like, if you've ever seen a motion comic.
Yes.
It was sort of like that.
Yes.
I was so pissed.
Yeah.
And because what killed me was they didn't just do it for, like, there are certain Golden Books that are only Golden Books, like the Baggy Saggy Elephant and all that. They didn't do it for that.
No.
I had a Sesame Street one.
Yeah.
I had a He-Man one.
Yeah.
And I had a She-Ra one.
Uh-huh.
And it was so upsetting because I got tricked. It wasn't a cartoon.
Right.
There was no animation. It was just the voiceover over static images.
Over static images, yeah. There are a lot
Bullshit.
of those.
Those were horrible.
There were a lot of those.
But I did have a She-Ra one. I remember that.
I had a Winnie the Pooh one.
Oh, so you had them too?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so mean.
I had those.
Speaking of Winnie the Pooh, you know who else pulled that fucking let's like rape kids' wallets by fucking fooling them trick? Disney. With their... Come on, bet you know what I'm gonna say.
With what?
What VHS tapes of Disney would you see the cover of and assume...
Oh, the single.
The sing-along fucking tapes. Oh, awesome! This is The Little Mermaid. Let's pop it in. Oh no, it's a half an hour tape of just fucking follow the bouncing ball, sing along with Little Mermaid songs. Fuck you, Disney. Like, you didn't get enough money. Why would you try... The only thing worse than ripping off kids that way were the knockoff bootleg versions of, like, public domain things like Aladdin. I remember one time I got The Little Mermaid, and it was a direct adaptation of the Hans Christian Andersen
I would have been
story. So
bullshit.
I was, except that I remember at like 10, however old I was, still trying to marvel over how this mermaid was topless.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't anything salacious. There was literally just 2 black dots where her nipples would be. But I remember even at that age being like, how are they allowed to do this? And then by the time I was over that, it was at the part where it felt like every time she took a step with her new legs, 1,000 knives were stabbing into her, and then she died. Oh. So, like, I was like, this is not what I thought The Little Mermaid was.
This is not Under the Sea.
This is not Under the Sea at all.
Flounder.
This is evil. This is just horrific.
Oh, boy.
That's the only ripoff that I think of a caliber even worse than the sing-along and the little Golden Books one was the friggin' ripoff.
Speaking of those, do you remember the original Curious George show that they used to play on Nickelodeon?
The original Curious George show?
Yeah.
I do not.
So, it was literally just those static images with a voiceover in a fucking show.
I remember that. But
George,
you know where I saw that?
Yeah. Where?
In school. on film strip.
Film strip.
Do you remember film strips?
Yeah.
So the projector would just show the images, and then they would have to press the tape so the tape talked along with it. Mm-hmm. That's where I saw Curious George.
Yep.
And other books.
No, but there was really like when I was younger, and like David the Gnome would be on.
Oh yeah, David
and stuff like that. Curious George would come on. I don't remember that. And it was like a half an hour show
of just the static images.
The static images from the books.
I would have been bullshit
with a voiceover.
I would have been bullshit.
Oh, awful!
I would have just pissed on the TV.
I remember though, and I remember the theme song.
Yeah, and yet you don't remember She-Ra.
And I don't remember She-Ra.
That's okay.
I don't think I was old enough for She-Ra, to be honest.
Well, lucky you. The whole series is now on Netflix, which is one of the reasons we decided to do it. I cannot wait to go through She-Ra.
Yeah, I'm curious.
In case you're wondering why we didn't do He-Man, I actually watched a whole shit ton of He-Man recently with 2 of my children.
Clearly everybody knows He-Man.
Didn't even... That too. But didn't even think of... and let me tell you, that show does not hold up at all. So I can't wait to see about this. But something tells me... I have a feeling this might hold up better. We'll see. Alright, so what do you say? Should we go watch She-Ra?
Yes.
Alright, we will go watch She-Ra. And we'll be back
Woo!
later to tell you what we think.
Yay.
So stay tuned.
I am Adora, He-Man's twin sister and defender of the Crystal Castle. This is Spirit, my beloved steed. Fabulous secrets were revealed to me the day I held aloft my sword and said, "For the honor of Greyskull!" I am She-Ra! Only a few others share this secret. Among them are Light Hope, Madame Raz, and Cowl. Together, we and my friends of the Great Rebellion strive to free Etheria from the evil forces of Hordak!
And we're back! And I have the power
Yes.
to make us come back
That's right.
and record.
By the honor of Greyskull.
By the honor of Greyskull, I do have the power. I feel very empowered.
Yeah.
I feel like an empowered woman.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
It's definitely a very empowering female empowerment. Yeah. Strong lady, heroine type lady. Type strong.
So She-Ra's cool.
She-Ra was pretty awesome, actually. Having watched He-Man recently, I have to say, I think... Now, this really isn't saying much. Because really, I implore all of you to go... I employ all of you. No fucking raises this year, okay? Get back to work. No, I implore all of you that remember He-Man to go back and watch it. It definitely does not hold up. So this isn't that much of a... This is definitely a step up from He-Man.
Yeah.
Still not, like, beautiful. I mean, as in, like, the animation, right?
Well, yeah,
So the animation for He-Man is notorious for being like really filmation animation is it rivals the complaint that people have about anime, where they churn so many out because there's such limited movement. Like in we'll get in a second to what we watched, but you know how in the ones that we watched with He-Man, how every time he punched something, it cut to that same animation of him punching from the front. Like, that has been reused a million fucking times. Yeah. So that being said, I feel like this show looked a little bit better.
Yeah.
Not a ton, but a little bit. There was definitely more of that cool sparkly jizz stuff that, like, they use
cool sparkly
all over the place. You know, like, when it comes
sparkly
out of her...
spooge?
Yeah, the sparkle spooge that comes out of her, like, sword, and she's like, by the honor... You didn't notice it looked like little...
Yes.
Squiggly...
Looked like golden showers.
Dong chuggets? Dong nuggets?
Dong chuggets?
Dong
What are dong chuggets?
You know.
Chuggets that are dongs.
No, chuggets that come out of your dong. Whatever. I think I was thinking of chowder and nuggets. Like chuggets.
Oh, gross. It was like chowder.
You never heard knuckle chowder?
Gross.
You've never heard that?
Oh, I know, but that's just gross.
Anyways, I know it's gross. Where were we?
Gross. Oh, we're talking about She-Ra.
So, yeah, the sparkle jizz, the sparkle spooge.
The golden showers.
But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That sparkly, like, fucking bedazzled fucking shit that comes out of everything in those 80s cartoons. Especially the Filmation ones.
You know what's so deceiving? Is her horse / alicorn looks so
What's
like...
his name again? Swiftwind or something?
Swiftwind, when he talks...
Oh my god, yeah, you'd expect him to be like the horse from Rainbow Bright, where he's like, oh, Rainbow, what are we doing today? Instead, like,
you expect, because he's so pretty and beautiful, and just, you know, he looks so cool, and you expect, like, this really nice voice to come out, but then, like, BoJack Horseman...
She's like, fly, Swiftwind. He's like, well, where do you want to go, She-Ra?
Where do you want to go? And then Battle Cat's got roid rage.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
So Cringeor is essentially just Scooby-Doo, I realized.
Yes.
I never realized that before.
Scooby-Doo, and he's like,
maybe we should just sit here and eat instead. No, fuck it, transform. Battle Cat, smash!
Yeah, it's seriously like Prince Adam just like shut up, Cringer. Take some roids.
Yeah, he's like, by the
Just
power
shoots him
of
up.
Greyskull and HGH.
Greyskull.
What did I say?
You just said Greyskull.
Oh, fuck that. Okay, can I redo that so it
You
doesn't sound
suck.
so stupid? By the power of Greyskull.
You're the worst.
By the power of Greyskull. Greyskull.
Can I say it for
Yes.
you? By the power of Greyskull.
And these steroids.
And these steroids.
And these anabolic steroids.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I can't believe skull is so hard for you to say right now.
I can't say skull. I don't know what it is.
Oh, you just did.
I love...
Rats.
I love... Don't call me a rat.
Didn't.
I thought you said rats.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Do you smell toast? Do we have to go to the hospital?
I'm so happy that we chose this to be our new professional
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, super
Format.
professional.
Anyways,
Fuck that.
so he's all like, by the... You know what, fuck it, let's just move on.
Yeah, please.
So, we didn't realize when we watched... She-Ra did, without doing any actual research, as is our MO on the show, I'm just going to go ahead and say, I'm pretty sure that not many series in the 80s did this. She-Ra begins with a 5-part... Was it 5 or 6?
Yes, yeah, it's 5.
5-part...
Crossover.
Well, I was going to say a 5-part,
Introducing-
mini-series beginning that apparently, which I didn't know, was released as a theatrical movie called He-Man and She-Ra, The Secret of the Sword. But yeah, it's a 5-part like, serialized thing explaining, shows usually didn't do that.
No.
Cartoons especially. You might get an origin episode, farther down the line, but usually it just starts up with it as it is. Ninja Turtles did that. Because because I believe the miniseries was made, and then it was like, all right, and that was successful, so they did that. Right. But Batman the Animated Series didn't start out with Batman Begins animated style,
Right.
So this was interesting.
Yeah.
And especially because She-Ra doesn't even show up till 3 episodes in. She-Ra herself, right? Princess Adora shows up before that, but yeah. So we didn't realize. So essentially, we watched a lot of it was He-Man. We did watch another episode after that, so we did ascend. We watched more than we have when we usually do shows. We watched 7 episodes.
Yes, we did watch 7 episodes.
I think it was 6 episodes actually.
Oh, maybe 6.
No, I'm saying I remember telling you we watched 7 episodes, so I think it was actually 6 episodes that the thing was.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know, but it was actually pretty cool. It was an interesting story. It is essentially just like Star Wars, like I said.
Yeah, except the adopted dad is the bad guy.
Oh, fucking Hordak. Yeah.
That stole baby Adora.
I apparently forgot that Hordak has the ability to just shapeshift into rockets and a
shit.
fucking tank and all this weird shit.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was very weird.
He was
especially when he crashes. Oh, I need more practice in my rocket form.
Yeah.
He is no Skeletor. Skeletor is amazing. Skeletor is the only thing from that show that I know. I know that. But Skeletor is the only thing from that show that I think still holds up. Skeletor is still amazing.
Skeletor is too Women.
I know what the fuck is up with Skeletor's casual misogyny. He's like, she fainted just like a woman. And then he's like, when she stops him, he's like, curse you, women.
Right. And then Man-at-Arms and what's her face are having a good laugh.
Oh, I know, that was hilarious. Yeah, there's that part where He-Man and She-Ra are already gone, and fucking Man-at-Arms and Teela are just standing there yakking it up back and forth with Skeletor.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah. Don't we know it?
Yeah, right? Women, and Man-at-Arms is pointing to his daughter. He's like, oh my god, right? This one, when she's on the rag, watch out.
Yeah. Teela's like, yeah.
What, Dad?
Right?
Hey, shut the fuck up and go make us a sandwich.
We'll kill you again another day. Bye. They just let him be.
Yeah.
They could easily just destroy him right then, and not have to worry about him ever again, but instead they choose to have a good chuckle.
Well, I love when Hordak comes back and Skeletor's like, no, you can't stay here. Eternia has mine to conquer. It's like, dude.
Fuck off.
Dude. You've been trying. You haven't done it yet. Don't tell anyone that it's yours to conquer when you haven't conquered shit. You assume that Skeletor made Snake Mountain. No, it turns out that fucking Hordak made it and Skeletor just took it over.
Correct. Yeah. And Hordak doesn't care about Eternia anyway.
He just wants
said
to
that.
Get Adora back.
Yeah. For whatever reason. Whatever weird, nefarious shit.
I don't know. Is it because, like
why?
He does feel like her?
Why do you want her
But even
back
that,
so
it wasn't like a Tangled thing where he had, like, lied to her and got her. It was more like every time she starts to realize, like, hey, I think I'm with the bad guys, then they just cast a spell on her.
Yeah, they gave her more Bill Cosby drugs.
Yeah.
We're like, no, this is good. They never let her leave the, like...
Hordak's like, Cosby, come here.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, Adora, you're gonna take this and drink it, then you'll forget all about the he and the man and the Orko with the man in the arms.
Boy. Yeah.
And you'll go right to sleepy pie, and when you wake up, you'll be bad again.
So, what were our highlights that we wrote down?
All right, let's see. There was some good shit. Okay.
There was some really good highlights.
I made the observation that this really felt like Rainbow Bright with a sword. I made that observation before really watching it. It was more at the beginning when they showed like the beginning title card thing. It was like her and a bunch of other brightly colored women.
Yeah.
And the one dude, Bo, who was actually pretty cool. Actually, essentially he was Robin Hood. You said, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I have. For some reason, they felt the need to animate everyone's butt crack, especially the females. Yeah. That was just a weird, like, why? Because, I mean, it's animation and it's not, so they had to go out of their way every time you see females in the background to draw their butt crack.
Their butt, yeah.
Like, so first of all, none of these women are wearing underwear, or if they are, they're wearing thongs, which is definitely odd for the 80s. But second of all, they're like, can you just picture you're the animator there, you're drawing, like, a kid's cartoon, you're like, okay, so in this cell she's turned around, might as well just draw her ass crack,
Yeah.
Those kids are going to be watching this being like, how does she poop?
Oh my god. More poop.
Let's see. Plunder Room? Why did I write down Plunder Room?
The Plunder Room. Oh, the Plunder Room. The Plunder Room, guys, is the room where he had the clear telephone box where he sapped people's energy one at a time. Ridiculous. It's the plunder. He called it the plunder room.
I'm gonna power my evil fucking device to take over, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it by taking one prisoner and slowly sapping their power, and then taking another prisoner and slowly sapping their power.
But not all of their power.
No.
Because then they can't be slaves, because they'd be dead.
It doesn't even sound like the capacitor on the power thing's very good. When he had He-Man in there, he's like, I better do it slowly. If I suck this power out too fast, it'll break the machine. It'll overload the machine.
Yeah.
It's like, Hordak, what the fuck, man?
Your thing is useless.
Yeah, pretty much.
And shitty. So yeah, the plunder...
Talking about his dick or the machine?
Both!
Useless shit dick! Which was also my nickname in 3rd grade.
Perfect. One of the best parts was, like, at the beginning when they walk into Etheria, like, into the bar in Etheria.
Oh my god, and the
guy's like, your animal talks.
Because Prince Adam goes there with Cringer,
Yeah, and Prince Adam's like, doesn't everybody?
Oh, Prince Adam was the king of the one-liners. He could give fucking Schwarzenegger a run for his money. Or Austin Powers. Like, every time there's a thing like, oh, looks like you took a little trip. Did you have a nice fall? Like, he's totally got that thing going on.
Terrible.
No, but some of them were pretty good, though. Good. He's savage as fuck. Like Superman was straight up savage. Superman, wow.
He-Man.
Thanks, Superman. He-Man was straight up savage sometimes. He had some good one-liners.
Yes, he did.
I was very surprised.
What else did we write down?
Let's see. Quick, let's cross swords.
Oh my god. Yeah, quick, let's cross swords.
It's taken out of context. Yeah. It's beautiful. Quick, let's cross swords.
Quick, let's cross swords. This is a brother speaking to his sister.
Oh, there was a wicked, weird, incesty vibe going on when he, like, put his finger over her lips. He's like, shh, we'll talk about it, like, another time. And he's, like, holding on to her. And he's, like, silences her with his finger, like...
Oh, boy.
The time for talk is not now.
Yeah.
This is the time for love. It would have been great if she was like, well, wait a minute. You know, I didn't know I was your sister until you told me, right? Like, don't you think... Oh, no, that was her that told him.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, forget it.
Fuck that
what
joke
else?
up. Oh, just,
Because I know there were a bunch of, like, funny things that we were like, what?
The fucking truffula trees in the background from the
Lorax?
Hobbit. Yeah,
the Hobbit, not related to the Lorax. The Hobbits don't speak for the trees.
No, but they speak
does.
to the trees.
True.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, no, from the Lorax, those weird fluffy. I'm Dr. Seuss and I can't draw real vegetation. Fucking trees.
Yeah.
They were all over the place. Mm-hmm. In Etheria. What else? I love that Madame Raz character, but you didn't.
No. So
I understand that they wanted to do like female Orko, like comic relief. I thought it was pretty interesting to have it be that weird, like, I don't know. What is she? What would you call her? A magician? A witch? What?
I guess.
Her eyes go through her hat.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Did you notice too? I mean, it was very subtle, but her tits were like hanging down over, like they were at her waist level. Yeah. You didn't notice that? Her pants were up to like her belly.
I did.
And then right above pants was bust line.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. And her broom is alive. That is one thing that I found weird. There were too many. Okay.
Too many characters.
Well, no, not that. Oh, please, fucking He-Man has way too many characters. They all have fucking action figures, but in He-Man, the one big comic relief character is Orko, okay, and Krangor to some extent. So I understand them having Madame Raz, but then there's way too many comic relief characters because there was Madame Raz, there was her talking broom, there was Bo's little fucking Furby Mogwai Dumbo thing named Cowl, I think.
Cowl, yeah.
What the fuck was that? An owl?
It was like a weird
Mogwai Furby thing with like ears that it could fly with, rainbow ears. Anyways, that thing, it was like Archimedes from fucking The Sword and the Stone.
Yeah.
That was comic relief. There was way too many, and then fucking Hordak had a little friend too. His like Salacious Crumb there.
Yeah,
like,
his
what
little friend that showed up out of nowhere.
Oh, speak about out of nowhere. How about the very first episode after the whole origin sextuplet? Yeah, whatever.
There are not 6 of them.
Yeah, I thought we said there were. There were about 6 of them.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I thought you were talking.
I don't know what you'd call it. Whatever. Yes. After those 6 episodes, the very first like regular episode, there's that random guy that shows up at the end of the episode to do the like, hey, here's what we learned today. It's me again.
And this is
what
we learned about bullying today.
Yeah, like, who are you? Oh, yeah, bullying.
Yeah, it was the PSA.
Yeah, because all 80s cartoons had to have that special.
Yes, of course. Yeah, this cutesy little thing that looked like it was from Rainbow Bright.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, okay, who are you?
Oh, so I had mentioned in the last, in the beginning part about Glimmer, because that's what I thought the horse's name was. There was a Glimmer, but instead it was this chick who was the leader of the rebellion. Basically, I guess it would be like the Princess Leia thing. Yeah. If this was a Star Wars analogy, I mean, I guess Bo would be like Han Solo. She would be sort of like the Princess Leia thing, and then She-Ra would be, I guess, Luke in a way, because she finds out she has powers and stuff. And
could see that.
And then Glimmer's got like that. Cause what does she have? Like pink hair or something? Purple hair.
Yes.
And then she has that. She has her mother like Angela, who has like wings.
Angel, yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing I loved. The fucking sorceress from He-Man.
Yeah.
Apparently takes off her bird costume, which I thought was part of her skin, actually. Because she can turn into a bird, but it's not, apparently. She takes off her bird costume, puts on a nightgown, but leaves her fucking bird headdress on. Like that hawk head mask that she wears, she leaves that on to sleep, but takes everything else off. Ridiculous.
The horse's name is Spirit, by the way.
Spirit, yeah.
Spirit/Swiftwind.
I was right about the Swiftwind part.
Yeah.
Yeah, Swiftwind just does not sound like what you would expect it to sound like.
Yeah. Seriously, it's like you took BoJack Horseman and just, like, made him a pretty alicorn.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because he wasn't going around going, she's like, Swiftwind, and take us to the battle. What's the point? I'm gonna die anyways, might as well.
No, just the weird, deep voice.
Like, Will Ferrell, it sounds like Will
Arnett.
Will Arnett is what I said.
That Will.
Yes. Sounds like Will Arnett.
Kind of, yeah. Like this weird,
doing
gravelly,
a horse voice.
deep voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doing a horse voice. How does one do a horse voice?
Nay.
Nay.
Wilbur.
James Baxter.
Aww.
Oh boy.
That did kind of sound like James Baxter.
Wilbur.
I'm calling the question. Does it hold up, Zack?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great show, but I would rather watch that than He-Man, believe it or not, I think. Yeah. Except I'd rather have... here's what I would like. If I could have She-Ra and her world and, like, the cooler, like, rebellion thing going on. Because in He-Man, there's not really any struggle. It's just, you know...
It's just Skeletor and his hijinks,
trying to take over.
Yeah,
yeah exactly. I like that there's more of an overarching plot thing there. However, I wish it could be Skeletor there. Because Hordak's kind of lame. But yeah, I guess it holds up. I mean, what do you think?
Well, from not having seen it and only seeing He-Man,
yeah,
I thought it was pretty good.
She-Ra.
I actually kind of want to watch more.
And we can.
Yeah.
Because it is on Netflix.
So I think it holds up.
Excellent.
You know, it's I think it's still good.
Yeah.
It's one of those 80s cartoons that, you know, you could still watch.
I mean, some of the animation was funny to watch.
Oh,
like
yeah,
some
of
of the
course.
facial features. That and this cartoon, I guess I want to say is filmed oddly, but you brought up the point of, no, I guess you would say animated oddly, but
yeah.
Instead of doing, there's hardly any medium or long shots where everybody's together.
Oh, yeah.
It kept being these weird close-ups of, like, people's faces, and then at different angles. It's like, well, when we cut to He-Man this time, okay, it was, like, from the neck up looking, like, you know, straight. When we cut to him again, it's like the angle is shooting from the bottom up. So it's, like, chin up from underneath. Mm-hmm. Then we cut to him again, and it's, like, from head down. It's, you know, it's like you're shooting from the top. Like,
right.
What? It was weird.
Yeah.
It was, like, just random weird angles. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if they thought it made it more dynamic or something.
I don't know.
It did not?
No, it probably did not.
Yeah. But I thought that was weird.
I definitely thought it was interesting. I actually...
Interesting. What was the thing with the episode with the Queen Frosty in there? The girl that they just randomly introduced that could freeze stuff?
Oh, yeah. She...
The guy went to her and said... What did he...
Oh my god.
It was almost like he was hiring a hooker, and she's like, where do you want it? He's like, over here, I'll show you. Like, he starts leading her away. That was great.
Yeah, there were some weird moments.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I mean, a lot of these old cartoons
can
be, you know, sexual if you take them out of contrast.
Context?
What did I say?
Contrast.
Wow, if you take them out of context. That sounds
It's okay,
stupid.
it's bedtime.
He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special. Oh, I need to see that at some point. Alright, so... that's what we thought of it. Introducing a new segment, we thought it would be fun to go on IMDb and look at some of the user reviews.
Yeah, and
come up with what we thought it would be fun to pick the best review and the worst review.
Here's the thing. I was just looking through the user reviews already, and there are no bad reviews.
Oh, then
they're all good.
Just pick, well, then let's just pick 2 fun reviews to read then.
Okay.
You pick one and I pick one.
I'll read a classic, enough said.
Okay, go for it.
Alright. So this is from 2002.
Yeah.
Wow. It's titled Classic, Nuff Said. As a young boy of the 80s, I loved everything that had to do with He-Man. When a new show featuring his twin sister debuted, I of course watched it for He-Man, and found myself drawn into the wonderful world of Etheria. She-Ra is an example of everything done right in a cartoon. It had action, compassion, humor, games, and life lessons. She-Ra herself should be seen as an inspiration to young girls everywhere. She was strong, powerful, a leader, and wise. Another comment said She-Ra was based loosely off of Wonder Woman. This may be so, but I honestly believe that She-Ra was the main inspiration I think it's supposed to be 4. I know. For the famous Xena warrior princess. My friend and I found old tapes of She-Ra at the library. After viewing it today, older and wiser, the stories truly are brilliantly done, and there is even more humor than what I remembered. I recommend She-Ra to anyone who loves action and fantasy. Bam.
I like this one. Fantastic 1980s cartoon. I have reviewed dozens of 80s movies and TV shows, and I have always said the same thing. The 80s were the best ever, and nothing will ever top them. She-Ra was one of the many great cartoons from that era. Being a male movie fan, meaning fan of male movies, or just being a male fan of movies? I don't know. Being a male movie fan, I didn't take much interest in it at first, but I had enjoyed the awesome Masters of the Universe cartoon series. Back in the 80s, I decided to watch She-Ra after realizing it was connected to the He-Man show. Just like He-Man and other 80s cartoons such as Thundercats, She-Ra had it all. Swords, sorcery, action, moral dilemmas, heroics, and pure fantasy. She-Ra's world was one of fantasy.
Wow.
The fuck? Right? Didn't it just say? Okay. And there were clear-cut heroes and villains. The villain was the wicked Hordak who ruled Etheria with an iron fist, but could never totally rule, thanks to She-Ra. Call me crazy, but I believe 1980s cartoons such as this can be great role models for everyone. I say that because 1980s cartoon heroes were true good guys, who helped those less fortunate than themselves and always fought against the darkness and evil. The likes of She-Ra and He-Man were role models. What? They upheld their morals in a dark world, and they never stooped to the level of the villains. They never killed anyone, no matter how evil, and they always worked tirelessly for the greater good. Perhaps we can all learn something from watching these shows, but remember to enjoy them as well. There's only so much philosophical thinking one can do whilst watching a show. Dear God.
What?
This is the worst thing I've ever read.
Wow.
Oh, so there you have it, folks. Barely literate people on the internet 10, 12 years ago loved this show, so you might as well. All right, what do we have on tap next week?
I don't know.
Were we doing Little Monsters next,
that's
or were we
right.
doing something else next?
No, Little Monsters works.
All right, then
so
next
Monsters
week
it
we'll be
is.
doing Little Monsters.
I'm excited. I love this movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Well, I remember
It's
loving
got what,
this movie.
Howie Mandel?
Yes, Howie Mandel.
Howard Mandel and Fred Savage. Fred Savage. And Ben Savage.
Yeah.
And Daniel Stern.
Thank you, Google Translate. Or whatever the fuck you want.
Daniel Stern. And Fred Savage in Little Monsters.
Wow.
Also starring Ben Savage.
Oh my God.
As Fred Savage's brother.
Alright. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the new format. And
I so badly want to right now, just record. I want to go, okay, Google, what is Little Monsters? Little Monsters was a 1990 movie. Sorry. So what were you hoping everyone did?
I was saying, I hope they like the new format. And
it wasn't a lot different, just a little tweak.
no, it was a little
trying to
more
make it sound a little
structured.
more professional and structured, yeah.
We were a little more structured. Even though clearly we strayed. But that's showbiz, folks.
That's
Fuck
right.
it.
If you wanted a scripted show with no flubs and no bubs and no blubs, then no glubs, then you'd listen to
Any other show.
any other scripted show. I don't know what point I was trying to make.
I don't either.
I don't know.
I wish I knew.
This is live television, folks. This kind of stuff happens. All right.
All right, well, I'm Heather.
And I'm Zack.
And we will see you next time.
See you next time.